What's up guys, Ronaldo here and welcome. Today we are gonna take a look at Twyla that is gonna come out now with Hex, and I thought to myself, since there are already some showcases out, I decided to do something different, and that is to compare each of her awakenings directly here for you guys, as I know, as I get these questions quite often on these videos, especially with these Nightmare Finder units that deserve some awakenings for guild boss slaying purposes. How strong are these awakenings? So you will be able to see how much of a difference they make, and if you really want to go for this different awakenings. Testing her at A0 and A1 and A3, and compared to the likes of Lust and Arrogance. How does she compare? How high does her damage go? Which awakenings do you need? Why are we not talking about the A5? The A5, I feel like it's mainly for GVG, maybe good, maybe for some arena, maybe for some other PvE than boss killing. It's a slight bit of damage increase, but it's not that reliable for damage testing. Her A3 is really where she gets her full potential. A4 gets some bit more potential, but A3 is really the big stepping stone for her. So at the beginning we're gonna test her at A0, then at A1, and then when we're testing her at A3, she's gonna go up at not against an A0 Arrogance and then is A0 Lust as she did at the beginning. No, when she is A3 at max potential, she's gonna go up against max potential Lust and Arrogance that are gonna be A5, and it's gonna be interesting. And before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe, as it will increase your summoning luck, guys, and you will not miss out on any future content, and it will also help me out as well, providing these videos for you guys. With that said, let's continue. Now this is gonna be the team where we're gonna run. We're gonna run it at Guild Boss 1. So what we're gonna do here is just, I've already set it up, and we can run it in the background, and I can keep talking here for a bit. So basically what we're gonna do here is we have Twyla in here, and what we need to consider about her and her kit in general for this damage testing. So basically, in the end of that fight, you will see her damage output compared to some of the other best DPS in the game, like Arrogance, like Lust, and Silas as well. Now Hex as well. Silas is the only one who doesn't get an Invic buff with this current lineup, so he is a bit of a in a bit of a disadvantage. But what we also need to consider is that Twyla can get to up to 80% penetration, and in this, guys, this is speaks actually for Twyla. Guild Boss 1 doesn't have that high resistances, meaning that 80% penetration is nowhere as impactful as it is for Guild Boss 2 Semra. So if she's able to actually dish out lots of damage here in Guild Boss 1, you can only imagine how much she's gonna dish out in Guild Boss 2. It's a lot more. It's even more, because the resistances are that high, and on top of that, because she has time to get 10 ultimates out to get to that 80% defense penetration for herself, whereas here she needs most of the time to ramp up, and she's still ramping up during the duration of this fight, whereas in Guild Boss 2 she's gonna be a wrecking ball. She is you'll see it yourself once you pulled her. Most likely gonna be the top hitter in Guild Boss 2 for many of you guys. But now let's finish up that run here, and we're almost done. We're gonna take a look at how much damage she did. I wish we could take a look earlier. Let's just speed it up and get to the end. Alright, so first up we can see her being able to actually dish out insane amounts of damage here. Not as much as Hex with his artifact and the good faction bonus from Jovard, but she's still performing amazingly here. Now keep in mind, these are all at A0 for this right now. Now we're gonna bump her into A1, see what she can get there. And keep in mind, at A0 her damage would be even higher against Semra, like I mentioned earlier. So same gear, just A1. Let's see now how much damage she gets compared to before. Alright, A1 test is finished. Let's see how much damage she did. Now with A1 she becomes top fragger here. Top fragger. Managing to keep up with Hex here with her A1 already. Insane damage steroid. And now we will actually go on and see her A3, which is basically her main potential, right? Her full potential against all of these guys at A5, because they get their big steroids at A5, where she gets hers at A3. Alright, quick update before we get into the A5 versus A3 testing. Lust and Arrogance are at A5 max potential, where she's at A3 almost max potential. Hex and Silas still at A0, because I do not have any dupes for them here on the test server left to max out, and therefore I need them at A0 for future tests, of course. And also they're not really the units she is competing with for a spot, because she is competing with the other Nightmare units for a spot in the damage department, mainly Arrogance. So let's get right into the run, and I'll see you at the finish line. Alright, we entered the finish line. A3 Twyla, pretty much max potential for boss killing. Compared to the A5 Arrogance and A5 Lust, here we go. Wow. Well, there we have it, guys. There we have it, guys. Now you might be thinking, oh well, the A3 didn't deal that much more damage than the A1. Why is that the case? Now I have some explanation, and that is actually the A3 worked against herself in Guild Boss 1, but in a longer fight, as for example such as Guild Boss 2, the A3 will have a higher potential than here in this test, as the A3 extends the duration of her ultimate, making her rage regeneration slower, and therefore making her stack this passive slower as well. And this is why her damage didn't go up as much as you would usually expect from a 5-second increase of ult duration. A menace. She is ridiculously strong, and that's not even her full potential. Yes, let's go into the analysis of this test. And that is, why is she not at her full potential? Why does she have even more potential? Sure, we had her with Hex, giving her more potential, but what I meant with not having her not at full potential is each time the ultimate is triggered grants an extra 10% defense penetration. After 8 times, right? After 8 times popping her ult, then she's at her max potential, and only then she gets the full value out of that. And therefore, since Guild Boss 1 is not as long as Guild Boss 2 and doesn't have as many resists as Guild Boss 2, you can expect even more from her in Guild Boss 2 than was just showcased here. Now, in terms of the 3 awakening stages, A0, A1 and A3, I'll just have some screenshots right now up on the video for you guys, so you can see the damage dealt there, all of you as well, and make your decisions on that. I personally believe A1 or even A0 should be sufficient enough for pretty much all of you guys. I'm still a clear person that is go for A0. I'd rather have as many units at A0, but that's just me, that's personal preference, of course. So if you have more money than me, or if you just like spending money and having these awakenings, go for it, of course. Here are the data for you to make a more of an informed decision. Make sure to like and subscribe, as it will increase your summoning luck, and you will not miss out on any needed content in the future as well. I'm Ronaldo, signing out. Peace!